We're joined now by Republican Senator Eric Schmitt from Missouri. Senator, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. It's reported that you took your time to cast your vote to send the bill before the Senate for a vote on Saturday. What were your considerations ultimately, and have they been satisfied?
Well, actually, it wasn't any delay. I was just traveling with Vice President Vance. I was with him, so that's why I got there when he got there. But I'm excited to move forward with this bill. I mean, it delivers on President Trump's campaign promises. I spent a lot of time with him on the campaign trail. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, extending the largest tax cut in American history for working families, securing the border, money for the military. There's a lot to like about this bill, and I think we're going to get there at the end of the day today.
Two of your Republican colleagues in Congress have announced that they will not be seeking re-election. Both of them had publicly differed from the president's views at times. What pressure are you feeling from the White House to support the president's agenda?
No pressure at all. I played golf with President Trump on Saturday. We had a great conversation. He's excited. He wants to see this obviously get across the finish line. We're working to make sure that gets done. I mean, he was very clear about, what he wanted to do when he got back in office.
Really pretty fascinating. Just a little while ago today, Elon Musk posted on X about the bill. He called it, quote, the biggest debt increase in history, and he vowed that every member of Congress who supported it, quote, will lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth. Your reaction to that, Senator?
I have a ton of respect for Elon Musk. He's a brilliant guy. He did really great work with Doge. I'm actually the senator that will be carrying that rescissions package when we get back after this, which is about $10 billion in wasteful spending with USAID and with NPR and PBS. So I think some of his work will continue on, and I think he's done a lot for the country.
What do you think, though, about him saying that he's going to primary everybody who votes for this?
Like I said, I got a lot of respect for him. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. He's done great work. He's really a great American success story. I'm glad he lent his time to the government. And SpaceX, serving on the Armed Services Committee and also on the Commerce Committee, the commercial space industry in this country, SpaceX was really sort of the pioneer, allows us to really stay ahead of China. If we didn't have that and we didn't have some of the other companies now that enter the market, we'd be in big trouble. So his contributions to the United States, remain unquestioned by me.
At least 1 in 5 people in Missouri depend on Medicaid, as you know, for health coverage, and voters there approved a constitutional amendment to expand Medicaid. Under this bill, more than 200,000 people could lose coverage over the next 10 years. How much does that concern you?
Well, I'm glad you asked the question, because there's been a lot of misinformation about this. The only people who are going to lose their coverage are illegal immigrants. There's 1.4 million of them in this country that receive Medicaid benefits. And if we have the work requirement, which we should have, if you're able-bodied, you should have a work requirement. If you're able-bodied adult. And so if you are working 40 hours a month or volunteering 40 hours a month, you'll keep that coverage. My concern, honestly, is to make sure we strengthen the system for those who need it most, the most vulnerable. I've got a provision here worth billions to make sure we clear the waiting list for individuals with disabilities and make sure they get the services that they deserve. So let's strengthen that safety net for those who need it most. But I think a lot of the misinformation about who's losing coverage is just political talking points that fall flat.
So another program facing cuts is SNAP food aid. About 1/10 of your state's population depends on that program. The cuts in this bill could end food aid from anywhere from tens of thousands to more than hundreds of thousands of Missourians. What are you telling concerned constituents?
That's not true, that they shouldn't believe the reports like you just issued. Getting to a reasonable cost share of the federal government working with the states on this is long overdue. And so there aren't going to be any cuts. People are going to see those benefits. But we do need reform. There's a lot of waste and there's a lot of fraud, there's a lot of abuse in this bill, that we're cutting out in this bill. And I think it's high time we do it.
So give us your prediction. You think that we're going to see the vote in the wee hours of the morning? You think that it's going to get 51 votes in order to pass the Senate?
I think we're going to pass it, but, as a baseball fan, I don't know what inning we're in, Lindsay. Maybe we're in the bottom of the third right now as we're live, but I think we're going to get there and ultimately score a big win for the American people.
All right, Senator Schmitt, we thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Yep.